Getting ready to go to the August council meeting. JJ, how you doing? Yeah. Kind of cool in here. Not bad.
And then I can read it and I go from my motorcycle class.
How you doing?
I brought a Harley. 2003. Yeah, so I go from my motorcycle class in September. This man can see you for a second.
Okay.
Hi, George.
That's good, Fred. Hey,
What's up, Goop?
too much, man. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Cool.
I quit doing that.
It's warm out there, ain't it?
Yeah. It's that time of year. All hot and sweaty.
Damn, blue girl.
No, we're late getting started.
Oh, I know what it is. I knew something was
I
up.
wanted to ask you too, do you think everyone would be interested in being on the Rita? That's from the Rita. That's just a point. Yeah, just in case somebody, they don't really need to do anything. It's just people appear as their peers. They look over their case and they. Did you find it, George?
No.
No?
This is last month.
You don't have July?
No, there's nothing in the box. Yeah, that's last month.
Right? That's the minutes from last week.
No, give them that.
It was in there.
Yeah.
He's got it.
Yep, listen.
Thank you. Yeah.
No, it's not.
was. Hey. I was shocked all day. She made me twist my ankle today. But we got a good deal. Oh, we did. Some treasures. Did you guys go back out? No. I went over to the church and stopped over at
Pardon me, sir?
the end zone. Got some really pretty pet.
In their ordinance, that they're filing their applications. I'm hoping that's enough. Otherwise.
But I had to change my shoes. I can't hardly get this shoe ripped up because of that ankle. And I can't sit down because then I can't walk. I sat down in there for a while and then I walked up the road. I was like, oh my God. So I'm gonna have to ice it and stuff tonight because I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. It's so stupid. I'll be standing there, turn around, bam. Did I get your arm okay? Yeah, it's my ankle. Fell on my knee and went down with this hand, and then hurried up with this hand up, this hand down. But this hand is stronger. And I was like, dumbass, put that one back. Just don't want to break that one.
You better figure out quick where you land.
I know I've never felt so much over crazy thing. I have to get one of those necklace things. Help, I've fallen.
Excuse me. Hi, Dad. How's it going? Good.
Do you want to sign this paper? I'm sorry, before you sit down. Okay, shall we?
No.
No.
Can we wait a second until I
We
get
can.
this?
You are the woman. You just let me know.
I can't write and sort at the same thing. At the same time.
Do you need me to stay for anything?
You want to just hand them down?
Yeah.
Those are.
Will you pass that down there?
Those are packages.
Keep passing them down. Grab one and pass it down.
All right, everybody have one of that one.
Yeah, pass the whole.
Yep.
Okay, this is the second one. There's two of them.
This is the second one. Keep passing.
Oh. Some more?
Yep.
Is this the new one or the old?
There's two. There's a thicker one and a thinner one.
And they're here. And then their names here. Jared Vicky
And what's the other?
and Ken Arthur.
Thank you.
You ready? Okay, shall we say the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. And what I'd like to do is, when I first started, I asked everybody to stand up and say the reason that they were here. And that way we could keep the meeting in an orderly fashion. That way you bring up what you want to bring up. And then after that, it's the council meeting that talks. So does anybody have anything that they'd like to bring up on the floor before the council meeting start? Let's start with roll call. Sorry.
Lori,
I ahead of myself.
Here.
Denny,
Here.
Dawn,
Here.
Dan,
Here.
George,
Here.
Pam.
Okay. Does anybody have anything that they'd like to say before we start the meeting?
Is that us or remember who?
Nope.
I'd like to wait till, I hear what's gonna go on at the meeting.
Okay, well, we are not gonna have like we had at the last meeting where it turned into big chaos and there was a motion that was started. I know. That's why I want it done now.
All right, I got something to say. Fred Craig's my name. Does anybody on council care that the guy running the sewer plant for the village wants to bump the rates, and that Amy doesn't know how to balance the budget for the sewer?
Okay, I'd like to say something
Sure.
on that. Mr. Parks was asked to give some budget numbers. In the ideal world where money is not an object, he had no idea how much our resources were. So he said everything that he needed or wanted, let's say. I went back to him and I said, this is how much money we have. We have to revise some things. And he did so. And we should be getting some of those things that he needs through the money from OWDA. So things were revised to fit with the revenue. The revenue is very tight. I'm not gonna lie. It is very tight. I never said anything about bumping up the rates. I was told by Chris Hunt that the bare bones 2850 was pushed by you and Mindy, I believe, and that it was recommended that the rate was $33 instead of the $28.50. So, I mean, I don't know if that's what Mr. Hunt said.
Well, hopefully he can back that up.
So,
Because it was his recommendation at $28.50. He's been to the meetings. It's been a year.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying what I was told.
State.
So the budget was revised so that we can operate hopefully within that parameter. If not, it is in the ordinance that the rates can be reviewed and adjusted as needed.
Right.
So
Mr. Hunt we're hoping that he does make it to the meeting today. Anybody else have anything that they'd like to say? Okay, the floor is closed. Okay, let's go on to committee reports.
lights.
It's all working as Tuesday night. There's still no lights installed down at the sewer pump or up the sewer place that I've seen. They wasn't on at least.
Streets.
They're all looking pretty good. We have a couple places we may have to patch, but the finishing crew, once they come in, we just need to wait and see what the finishing crew does. Then we'll get out there and take care of the rest of it if we need to. They're looking good though.
Catch basins.
Still the same one behind then. I haven't heard any complaints. The only good rain we had, I was busy at getting ready for the pancake breakfast at the fire department, so I didn't get to run around with one check.
Signs.
All the stop signs and speed limit signs and everything's come in. Try to get with Roddy next week and start getting some of these put up.
Cemetery.
Cemetery looks okay, the maintenance garage looks okay.
Safety?
Police department hours for July 2016. J.J. Benninger had 19.40 hours. Mike Benninger, no hours. Arden Finch, no hours. James Howard, no hours. Stephen Rice, no hours. Ray Scott had 83.60 hours. Gary Snee, no hours. Corey Kidgrove, no hours. Total mileage for the month of July was 122 miles. There were 7 tickets written, 1 arrest, 3 assists, no summons, and 3 calls. Were made for July 2016.
No, you're fine.
Maintenance?
Maintenance of July, we had got the jail painted, the water draw painted, I cleaned the spoutings out on the garage, I have trimmed trees along 30 and around our garage up top the hill, and cleaned these spoutings out, and we got an issue on this roof on the south side. We need some shingles put on or something covered up. It is bare wood. Other than that,
Okay, Amy would like to go over with you guys with your appropriations and your funds and purchasing for the things that you purchase.
Just if you're planning on getting anything, let me know first. There are requirements that if something is ordered over a certain amount, we need to have a purchase order for, so just run things by me before you order anything.
But like Ruben's gonna need shingles to fix that up there. So, I don't know how many shingles you're gonna
I'd
need.
say apply a bundle should do it.
You're gonna
It
need
ain't
tar
that,
paper.
it's not that, well, yeah.
And that's not gonna be that much, so
But
Right.
just
That's
but
fine.
Still, please
Well,
come
I
to
checked
Amy.
on it, I think for them 3 tab, I think they're $90 a bundle.
Okay.
It might be a square, I didn't really check it out, I was over at Richmond.
Well, a
Lumber
square
and asked
consists
about
of
it.
3 bundles. One
Three?
bundle is a third square.
Okay, I'd say one bundle ought to do it.
So you're talking a third square.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay. Now let's move to new business. I'm sorry first. Then Sarah first. Or old business, I'm sorry. Sewer first. We're going to do the sewer project update first. Now, will you be
My name is Chris Hunt. Some of you I see I've never met before, I don't believe. I'm an engineer on the project. I just came, I had the night open, so I thought I'd come and see if there's anything you would need. I think what the operation of the system is, it's prepared to operate. They're just waiting for the 3-phase to get to the lift station. It's already to the plant. So I'll talk with the contractor and see when that's going to happen. I think they'll be starting the plant up very soon, and then starting the connections. I know they put the laterals in, but they'll go ahead and switch your systems over and then decommission your existing systems. But everything's, as far as I know, went very smooth. And we had a meeting with EPA a couple weeks ago. They had some concerns about some trees that were cut down along the main street, but that was from where the power company put the new electric service lines in to get the 3-phase up to the plant. And it really had nothing to do with the project because that wasn't paid for by the project. The electric company put that service in up to the plant at no cost to the project. So
okay? We also have I have a question for you. At the beginning of the project, when it was being estimated for the residential cost, and it was $28.50 or $33 what was your recommendation of it?
Are you talking about the user charge?
Yes.
And then when I came back and we talked about it a few months ago,
No,
We
I'm
developed
talking about the first time.
the first time, what the exact number was? Is that what you're asking for?
Yes.
I don't know that exact number off the top of my head, but that's about what I generally estimate would be operation, maintenance, and replacement for a small system like this. Be $28 to $30 a month, somewhere in that ballpark. The preliminary engineering report would have the actual detailed cost.
See, we were told that you said it would be $33, that would be what it would be, and that Fred and Mindy said that it would be $28.50.
Well, the preliminary engineering report has a detailed cost in it.
Okay.
And that's the actual estimated user charge that went out in writing,
Okay.
So
I'll look that up.
Pam and I had talked recently about user charge. She's putting a budget together. You just put a budget together recently, and we had to do some tweaking of some of the charge items just to make it meet the lowest user charge possible. A dumpster's a good example, the fellow might want to have like a half dumpster up there, but really that adds to everyone's bill, probably $1 a month. So those are the sorts of things we didn't think that would absolutely have to be
Excuse
there,
me.
If you had some trash needs, you would take, it's not a conventional sewage plant where you are constantly screening solids, where you've got rags and grit and that sort of thing coming all the time. It stays in the tank until the septic tank. So there's really not a need to have a dumpster on site. A trash can in there where I can take the bag and dispose of it at some other facilities. Most economical for Mifflin. So that's just one example of one of the items we kind of convinced Tim Parks that would be a good cost savings measure. But we got that, I believe, Amy and I had worked on it with Tim. I believe we got it down to that range where we were okay in the estimated cost range. Everyone would like to have more money, of course,
Right.
to give you more buffer. If you wanted to raise rates to give yourself some more buffer, my suggestion would be to put that into savings and not into additional cost. It's not necessary. But, right now we're, I believe, at the amount we estimated needed to be savings for the replacement charge. The only thing they really have no control over is the cost of electricity. And so if electric cost does go up, that's something you want to kind of prepare for. Not the usage of electricity per se, just the cost. You do have some control over usage. That's why we designed a plant that was, low electrical use as possible for you, so that you don't have enormous electric bills. But you really have no control over the cost of electricity. Other than that, there's not a lot at that plant you don't have control over cost. When it comes to pumping it out, you can look for a lower cost septic hauler. If the operational fellow starts to charge more, you can look for another operator. But really the only thing that you have that absolutely have no control over is the cost of electricity. That's basically what I don't know if you have that preliminary engineering report here. It's probably, I didn't bring a copy with me, but it would detail all the cost of all the alternatives with the estimated monthly user charge. One thing that does make those numbers change a bit is the number of service connections. So if we estimated it, say 48 and you ended up with 55, the cost of treating your sewage doesn't ratchet up a lot per service connection, but you get that extra, say $30 a month in So that helps with savings, if you get more, folks connected. I don't know if that helps, didn't really answer your question, but,
You did good.
okay.
There was a question last meeting, as one of the council members had a question about your billing and
Mhm.
how long that's gonna continue on.
The contractual, timeframe was 10 months, which we're at the 10-month timeframe. So that,
Is that a contract with you, or is that a contract with AET?
I purchased all the contracts of AET, my company did. We absorbed the AET contracts.
Was there a separate contract then entered into between you and the village?
No, we've been working under that existing contract.
That creates a little bit of a concern, I guess, legally then for the village, because if you read your contract, it says it has to be, if it's gonna be assigned to somebody, which assigning it to another company,
Mhm.
there should be a written agreement between the two,
Okay.
and I don't believe that was done, so that
Yeah, I
needs to-
have an
that needs
assignment.
cleaned up.
I have an assignment by legal action from the attorneys that did the assignment, but if you need a copy of that,
Yeah, I think you actually need one between you and the village,
okay.
because approved by council, otherwise it creates potentially an audit issue
Mhm.
for Amy.
Do you
I don't
want
think- I
to
don't
do you
think
want to
she
draft that up, or do you want me to have an attorney draft it up?
Either way, it don't matter to me.
Probably
That's fine.
easier since you're representing the village to do that.
I just wanna make sure it's done, so there's no issues with
Right.
the audit when Amy gets audited.
Yeah, we expected the entire construction to take 10 months. The electric is kind of held up with folks for a couple months, so that's why the plant's not operating and we don't have the connections connected. But they did move along very quickly.
Yeah. One of those papers did say by September 1st, and it's still August, so
Yeah, for the electric.
yeah.
That was, year and a half after we had a contract that we started working on that kind of detail of the electric.
Okay, so the sewer is moving right along, and we're waiting on electric. And
Yeah, I'll talk to Jason tomorrow and see where they're at on that.
okay. Okay. Shall we move along to the committees? We're going to start with Rita. I would like to appoint Jacob Crane as the person that I appoint, but you guys have two people to appoint.
This
What?
is for Rita?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, you're not Rita.
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
Rita is for the tax.
Yeah.
If someone
Yeah, I know what that is.
appeals their tax or something, there's three people that have a hearing and they help decide what's happening with the tax. This here is a voluntary group, and so far, as far as I know, they've never met. But we have to have them as a committee in case something does happen. So, do you guys have any? You guys need two people in mind.
You gotta find somebody once we get involved in it. too, I don't wanna get involved with it.
It's hard to get done.
I know.
They can't be on council, can they?
No.
No. Nope.
There's two volunteers.
What?
No, they're in a different group.
Here you go.
Different group.
Yeah.
Okay.
The late ones.
Sorry, I just got home.
Just kidding.
You're good.
Do we still got them in on the RETA committee? Does that have to be today?
No, but we need to get that
Okay, I'll get them.
Should have it by now.
right, because we've had 3 months to do it.
Huh?
No one wants to do it.
We've had 3 months to
Can't
do
force
it.
anyone.
Yeah, but everything's starting to settle down now. People aren't intimidated, so people are starting to come forward, so somebody else will step up to bat for their turn.
Okay, I have, we'll move on to the BPA committee. I have Beth Skelly. She has agreed to do it. And, Mr. Kirby. You're gonna do it?
Yeah.
And, we have Gilbert Goodwill.
Gilbert, you gonna do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's the three, right?
That's from
Mhm.
I can talk to him more about Connor and Lita.
Would you be interested in the Rita?
The RETA committee
I don't
is,
even know what you're talking about.
the RETA committee is a voluntary, it's voluntary. For, on the bureau, you get paid. On the RETA committee, it's for the taxes. If someone appeals the taxes or has a complaint against it, then you meet and you try to resolve that. But in the years that the RETA tax has been in Mifflin, we haven't had any problems. But we have to have a committee.
I work for the state of Ohio Department of Taxation now. I
Okay,
don't know if I'm allowed to. I'm
Right,
very
that would be a
strict on what I'm
conflict.
allowed to do or not
Right.
do. And I believe that probably fell under what I'm not permitted.
okay, okay.
I work for the state of Ohio and I can still become a councilman at times.
The Department of Taxation is different. I can
What's that
definitely
It's
check
a
and
conflict.
see if it's
It would be a
something that
conflict with
I can
taxes.
do or not. I have to submit the
If they
request
switch.
and ask.
Who?
He did Rita and she did the BPA?
He's staying where he is.
No, come on. Uh-huh.
No, he wants to do
Oh,
it.
he wants to do it.
You might check into that because the RETA is village tax versus state tax, so
Yeah,
it shouldn't be.
I'd have to submit a request. I think it takes a couple weeks for me to get an answer, but.
That's fine because we have until the next meeting. We've been after this for 3 months, so.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great, cause I'm sure you understand how taxes work and the purpose of them and all that good stuff. We could definitely use your expertise in that, although it doesn't happen, you know.
I've just been there a month.
That's alright, it's alright.
Okay, then let's move on to new business. We still need, 2 for Rita, for council. We're gonna move on to new business. Jared Dickey and, Mr. Arthur are here. And they are gonna explain why they are here.
Great. Hi, actually, my name's Jared and this is Ken. We actually represent the Richland County Building Department, which will confuse you from the get-go. The Richland County Building Department actually serves 6 counties. Richland, Ashland, Huron, Crawford, Seneca, Wyandotte. Is that it? Okay. And basically all of the sort of cities, municipalities that are in. In Ashland County, we've actually been under contract with the County of Ashland, I believe since 1992 or 94.
Approximately 92.
So for 20 years, we've been doing the inspections for Ashland, and actually we just picked up the city of Ashland themselves a couple years ago as well. So we've been doing all of Ashland County for years. In a state report, actually every year we're supposed to file reports to the state about the revenues and charges because we have to pay taxes on all the monies made. Short story of it, the state said the village of Mifflin is an incorporated village. Thereby, it's technically the state of Ohio's jurisdiction because they've not established a building department and then contracted to you guys separately. They're not under the contract you have with the county of Ashland. Oh, well, we've been submitting you these reports for 20 some years, now you catch that, okay. So what this does, unfortunately, is that technically right now the Village of Mifflin does not have a building department because we do not have jurisdictional authority.
They do have the state.
You have the state technically at this point, just by default. The building department operates to regulate commercial construction in the counties other than Richland. In Richland, we look at the residential. In the other counties, Huron, Crawford, here, we look at construction that is commercial construction only. There is no fee to the taxpayers. There is no fee to the government. The only person who pays a fee is the person who is doing whatever work on their building, which would be, if there's any type of addition, if you're doing interior remodeling, or if you are changing the use of something. So let's just say the church goes out of business and you decide to put a restaurant in there. We're the gentleman you talk to make sure it's safe, it's sanitary, and everything meets the code by the Ohio Building Code. We enforce the Ohio Building Code, which is a question that came up earlier. That is the code that is enforced throughout the entire state of Ohio. In Richland County, in Summit County, in Cuyahoga County, it's the same code for commercial construction. Again, this is what we do is based on the fees that we collect in order to review drawings, permit the work, and inspect the work, and then issue compliance certificates at the end of the project to verify that it meets commercial construction standards and everyone is safe and your children are safe and everyone can walk into the building as a public entity, basically. In the state of Ohio, either you're a residential project or a non-residential project, which the pavilion for the church next door would qualify as a commercial project or a non-residential because no one lives in it. The wastewater treatment, commercial project. The bar across the street, commercial project. This building itself would be a commercial project because it is a town hall and a public building. So what had been basically discovered was that for us to continue doing inspections here, which unfortunately there were two villages. One has no current construction and has had one project for 20 years. That's way over in Crawford County that was caught in this report. You, however, are a different circumstance because you have two active projects that we were submitted, have inspected up till this point, and only as of 2 weeks ago said, you may no longer do that. Our hands were up, we had to cease and desist. According to the state of Ohio law, we have two options, which is either we refund you the money that we have collected, but unfortunately it nullifies all of our inspection results that we have because we did not have the jurisdiction to be here technically according to the state of Ohio. Which means either now you apply to the state, and I can tell you the state fees are more than double what ours are, and their inspection times to schedule are probably double ours, and then you have to deal with Columbus and hope that they return your phone call if you have a question on any commercial project. Your other option is that if we are contracted, which means tonight you would have to pass an ordinance granting yourselves the ability to become certified for a building department. You would then sign also an ordinance which would contract us to be your building department servicer, and then we would have an application to the state that you would fill out. I think I've actually already kind of helped them fill out here, which applies to the state of Ohio. If this is passed tonight by your council, I am taking it to our Richland County Commissioners tomorrow, first thing in the morning. They are having an emergency meeting, passing that ordinance unanimously, and I'm driving it to the State Board of Building Standards tomorrow because the deadline for next Friday's meeting is tomorrow. If I have it into them tomorrow before the end of the day, they will look at it next Friday and approve it, and I will get a phone call at 11 o'clock saying, the Village of Mifflin is yours. You may pick up right where you left off and continue doing the inspections for the wastewater treatment plant, the church, and everything else. Otherwise, if you do not pass that ordinance, at that point, Ken and I will leave and we go back to Richland County. You would have to then apply to the state. They will pick up. The state also notified me that they're taking a little while to get through things as well. Since this is a wastewater treatment facility for the village, Ken and I both said we will make plenty of time on our schedules to come and help out with whatever we can with the village. We feel sorry about it because technically it's one of those things that's illegal through the crack. I mean, even the mayor herself said, I had to check the books to see that we were incorporated. You know, no one ever informs us when someone gets incorporated and we're not really sure who's incorporated and who isn't. The state of Ohio themselves aren't very sure. They just want to make sure they get their money at the end of the day. With that being said, that is why we basically reached out to the village here. sent over some contracts, a letter of explanation, you know, saying that we're less than 20 miles and we answer a phone when you call us generally within the next business day. We would like to assist you. We'd be proud to be your building department and service you with the building department facility. And again, it's not that we come in. It's one of those things that we almost like you to not even realize that we're there. You probably couldn't have told me who your building department was 2 days ago, and even after this, we'd like you to say, I think you go to Richland. Because that makes it easier for all the contractors around here who do work in Ashland County and say, where do I go? Oh, if I'm doing work in the village, I have to go down to the state. Everywhere else in Ashland, I go over to Richland, I know them. Oh, I'm a contractor from Richland County, I know what they're inspecting, I know what they're looking at. And it's nice in the 6 counties that everyone knows exactly what answer they're gonna get. So we do feel that we treat people fairly, we respond quickly, and if my chief building official would like to add anything, he's the gentleman who's been doing inspections here for 20 years until this little issue was found out a few weeks ago.
So that's why our electric has stopped, right?
I have no idea about the electric. Oh, you're talking about for the water treatment?
Yeah.
Technically, they're unable to get inspections because they've not applied to the state for the project yet. Once a government entity is paid, they're technically not allowed to refund. We're a different instance with what happened with you guys. You know, we are refunding the money for the projects. If you decide the night that you want to go to the state of Ohio, you know, again, we're sorry for the misunderstanding. We will hand you back your check, but then you'll have to write a check for more than double that amount down to the state. They will review the drawings in whatever order and then have you schedule inspections, which could be a few more weeks to months depending on how the state works it. With it being a wastewater treatment facility, I would love to tell you that if you do pass this tonight, next Friday, I will be happy for your contractor to call me at noon and say, we'd like to schedule our inspection for Monday. Absolutely, not a problem. So that's a very confusing legal issue that was caught in just someone doing a random audit for the books. So if anyone has any questions, we're more than willing to entertain any questions or any concerns you may have.
You said about refunding that money, you're not gonna refund it to the village, you're gonna refund it to the contractor, correct?
No.
Yeah.
We refund it to whoever the applicant
The
is.
applicant.
I believe the applicant was the village, or at least it was listed as the village. If the village paid that fee goes back to the village. With the church, you know, that money would go back to the church. That was the other matter that we don't really feel good about, even necessarily I did check for the pavilion next to us here. They would be paying, I think, 2.3 times the cost of what they paid us for a pavilion that I'm sure was all donated time and money. I believe the state may require that to be under a licensed contract. I don't know how the state works their registered and licensed
Just
contract.
the electrical. would
Just
have to be
electrical,
licensed.
so.
There is no licensing
For
for
the registration.
building contract.
Okay, so, you know, basically we would have to hand back the money to either of the applicants of those, which again, I believe the wastewater treatment, I looked at the application today, that was listed as the village of Mifflin.
We didn't pay it. It would be OWDA or the contractor where the money came from.
So just as a point of reference, we do cover 6 counties. We inspect Ashland County on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So it isn't every day, but we're here 3 days a week.
Currently.
Which has worked out very well for, and the contractors that come into this area generally work in other areas. And
However, I will say the nice thing is with the proximity, when an emergency situation arises, I will admit, if you're on the fringes of Ashland County or even over here, we'll generally swing by on the way through if it's something that's necessary. So it's not that we ever leave anyone hanging, you know, and we are trying to expand our services here in the coming years, hopefully to make 5-day inspections universal throughout the 6 counties. We just need to pick up another inspector for a little more legs.
So what do we need to get this started?
Well,
so in general, Mr. Dickey is new to our department. I've been an inspector since 1989. I was the building official, or am the building official since 2006. The contracts with Ashland County were set up prior
92.
to, yeah, I think 92, and the different villages around like Savannah and Bailey Lakes and Hayesville and Jerome'sville, and they all had, in Polk, they all had the contracts, but for some reason Mifflin was not included in that, which I was unaware of because, you know, apparently it was something that's been missed for quite a while.
Okay, so with that, we're gonna see if you guys wanna pass an ordinance adopting the Ohio State Building Codes and seeking out authority certification to enforce the same and declaring an emergency.
That's when we're gonna hire them, right?
No. This is just, it's a two-part thing, and you should have each of them in front of you. The first one is to adopt the building codes for the state of Ohio, seeking certification from the state, first of all.
Yeah.
And then the second one will be to enter into a contract.
Okay, so we're gonna pass two ordinances.
Right, one basically grants you sovereignty away from Columbus, and then the other would be to have us be your provider for your building department services.
I believe there's provisions in there to, terminate with us, I think, or I think with what, a 2-month notice or
It's
something?
60 days, yeah.
2 months, basically.
We need a motion to suspend the rules.
No motion.
Roll call.
Lori,
Yes.
Denny,
Yes.
Dawn,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
George,
Yeah.
Pam.
Yes.
Okay, now we need a motion for this ordinance 11/2016.
So,
Dawn.
Thank you.
Second.
I was thinking
Roll call.
Lori,
Yes.
Denny,
Yes.
Dawn, Dan,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Pam.
Okay. Now we're gonna need a motion to suspend the rules for this July. A motion to suspend the rules for this ordinance 12/2016, and the ordinance authorizing the mayor, fiscal officer to enter into an agreement with the Richland County Commissioners in enforcement of the Ohio State Building Codes and declaring an emergency. So we need a motion to second. Pam. Roll call.
Lori,
Yes.
Denny,
Yes.
Dawn, Dan,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Pam.
Yes.
Now we need a motion to accept this ordinance 12/26/2016. Dawn. Second. Lori. Roll call.
Lori,
Yes.
Denny,
Yes.
Dawn,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Pam.
Yes.
The contract of service also needs to be voted on.
The contract with Richland County, it's attached to 12/2016.
Oh, it's part of the ordinance you just took in.
Yeah.
It's the agreement.
You need to make sure that that's
Did we
attached.
have to say something about it?
Just want to fill out the application.
Okay.
Right, this is the one from our legal department, so you just took this before.
Yes.
Certainly.
We can do that.
Okay, then we have another ordinance, a
Resolution.
resolution, I'm sorry, accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the budget commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
This is something that the county auditor sends after we submit the budget, that we just accept the rates that they, here, you can pass these around. It's the same thing, just so everybody can look at it.
It's been a little while.
It says on the rates
It's been a little while.
need that back.
Do you want him in for the papers?
No.
Did everybody get a chance to look that over? We need a motion to suspend the rules. Pam. Dawn. Roll call.
Lori,
Yes.
Denny,
Yeah.
Dawn,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Pam.
Okay, and then we need a motion to accept that.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Lori,
Yes.
Denny,
Yes.
Dawn,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Pam.
Yes.
Okay, we need a motion for, does anybody else have any new business? Okay. We need a motion for the approval of the reports.
Motion.
I'll second.
Roll call vote.
Which one? What are we doing? Financial reports. Who did the first and
Lori.
second?
Pam and I.
Roll call vote.
Lori,
Yes.
Denny,
Yeah.
Dawn,
Yeah.
Dan,
Yeah.
George,
Yes.
Pam.
Yes.
Okay, we need a motion for the minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Lori,
Yes.
Denny,
Yeah.
Dawn,
Yes.
Dan,
Yeah.
George,
Yes.
Pam.
Yes.
Motion for the current month's bills.
Pay the bill.
Second.
Lori,
Roll call vote.
sorry.
You
Lori,
good?
Lori,
Yes.
Denny,
Yeah.
Dawn,
Yes.
Dan,
Yeah.
George,
Yes.
Pam.
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn.
Where are all the papers that we signed?
I make the motion.
You have to
Can't
wait
do
till,
that, but she's got a question on her already.
Yeah, we gotta go see, we gotta go
Get her
through
done.
and,
you gotta sign the papers.
The budget and all that stuff.
Got ahead of it.
Just a contract, right?
The heat, the heat is from there.
Did somebody, did we adjourn? No.
Not yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I missed it.
I said, nope, can't do that yet.
But I know I missed that paperwork.
You have to sign.
Lori, you need to sign this here on both of them.
You guys can adjourn. We have a motion to adjourn. George seconds.
Lori,
Yes.
Denny,
Yes.
Dawn,
Yes.
Dan,
Yeah.
George,
Yes.
Pam.
Yes.
Lori at the bottom there.
What's happening, Ray?
What's up, man? You doing all right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. They ain't been messing with you, is they?
Oh, yeah. Now you're only allowed to talk at the beginning of the meeting. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Hey,
You're
look.
just shooting your fucking self in the foot.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hey, tell everybody that's out.
All right. What's happening, Ryan?